What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of ARK Survival Ascended. That's right, it's Genesis launch week, with Genesis Part 1 releasing in July the 2nd, just around the corner. We're going to have this on the channel, so smash a like button, consider hitting that subscribe, and let's get into it. Now, Tides of Fortune. What is it? It's a DLC that's coming for the Genesis that you can get. It's like the Bob's Tall Tale sort of thing, which basically brings Atlas into the game. Now it says here, survivors will soon trade solid ground for physics-driven water. Now a lot of people are getting excited about this, thinking it's something new coming to the game. However, I think it's been in ARK Survival Ascended from the day one, from get-go, mate. This is footage from the island. So if you look at the water, everyone knows in Ascended they have a new water system where it does waves and it does like ripples around rocks, and if you're to swim in it, it does all sorts of stuff. However, I don't think this is anything new. I think it's been in here and this is what it is. This is footage of a plugin called Fluid Flux, which you can get for basically your Unreal Engine games. Now if you look at this rock and you see the way the water's hitting it and flowing around it, the way the waves are coming in, it's the exact same thing, mate. It's the exact same thing. So if you look at the waves here, you know, it's a complete giveaway. If you look at the way the water ripples when you go on it, once again, I believe that this new physics water has been here the whole time. The only thing that they've done is turned it down. You can also see here the way the water's sort of swirling around at the bottom there. You know what I mean? It's there, mate. It's already there. I reckon they've just turned the settings down, and in Tides of the Fortune, they're going to turn the settings way up, bringing all the waves back and all that sort of stuff. I think they've turned it down because they had to, because of the rafts. I don't think they had them set up correctly at the time that they'd done it. Another thing that they're bringing in is custom fleets built to clash in explosive naval warfare. Once again, if you go back to footage from Atlas, if you've ever played single player, you would have seen these lads here. The pirate ships cruising around, which are basically like, you know, an NPC that you could fight against. Hopefully, they've changed them a bit, because when you did fight against these guys, they were almost impossible, mate. They were almost impossible. Every time I fought against one of these ships, we lost very, very bad. Like, things did not go well. So hopefully they've like spiced them up a bit, changed them a bit, made them a little bit easier. Now apparently there's 3 different ships. You have your schooner, your brigantine, and your galleon. So I believe this is what they're going to be using, is the OG ships that they had in Atlas. It's just been modified to different styles. It does make me wonder whether they're still going to have this modular system where you could change it. You could put in different like cannon ports and all sorts of stuff. You could even open them. You could add your own cannons and things like that. I'm not too sure. But a lot of people said that they have changed it and made it to be more easier than what it was in Atlas, because a lot of people struggled because you had to like put in cannons, then you had to add your own NPCs. But as you can see here, when you had NPCs on your ship, if you added them to the cannons and to the sails, you could actually control everything from your steering wheel with one shot. Everything from your cannons to your sails, the whole lot could be controlled. So you didn't have to individually run around or have a bunch of players on there. You could do everything just with one player. So it does make me wonder whether they're still using the same system. They've just streamlined it a little bit, especially like with the cannons. Because back in the day, you could place a cannon just like this, but you could also buy a cannon where it already came with an NPC. So if you placed your cannon and then you waited for a little bit, it would basically spawn in an NPC, and you wouldn't have to go off to like the port or something like that to get the NPCs. So I think maybe they might have tamed down the food and the gold and stuff like that that you needed originally for the game. And yeah, who knows how they're going to do it. We'll find out in a couple of days. But one thing I have noticed is they have showed a lot of stuff for Atlas. But where's all the Genesis stuff, mate? You know, where's the Magnosaur? Where's this whale in the sky? Like, you remember all the Genesis stuff? They seem to be missing a lot of the original stuff from the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Even here, you can see in this picture, there's no mention of Genesis. There's only the Tides of Fortune. So I understand that that's their money maker. That's the thing that they're going to use to get money for their developers and stuff. So I suppose that's why they're promoting that. But a couple of days out, we haven't seen anything at all about Genesis like the rest of it. Where's the where's the space, like the space biome? Where's the bog? Where's all that sort of stuff? Like, it's very, very interesting that they haven't showed any of that so close. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Either way, when this comes out, July the 2nd, we're going to be hitting it up on the channel. So make sure you're there, smash the like button, consider hitting that subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. See you later.